So we're sitting with 4 rich men and 1 poor man today. You know the worst thing about staying poor? It's not that you don't get Lamborghinis and private jets and mansions on the palm and diamond chains. It's not that you get to put on a big Niggy diamond watch and sit around while your lawyers deal with your criminal cases and your house is full of women and there's a Bugatti outside. You're going to smoke a shisha pipe. That's not what being rich is about. Getting rich is going to be your coolest story, bro. Getting rich is going to be the coolest story you ever tell on your deathbed. And when I sat with these 4 rich men and this one brokey, what hurt him the most wasn't the fact that he had the shittest car, wasn't the fact that he had the shittest clothes, wasn't the fact that his family can't rely on him when they need expensive health care, wasn't the fact he's the only motherfucker not wearing diamonds, wasn't the fact he has to go to work in a few hours and we don't. None of that. What hurt him was the time he wasted. Because the worst thing about staying poor is that everyone gets rich without you. Please understand this. It's like the beginning of a tale. Imagine there's 5 men at the beginning of a path. A long and arduous path, a very dangerous one, which you're going to walk down and defeat a dragon at the end. And 4 people walk the path and they fight the dragon and they emerge adorned in scars, covered in fire-burnt armor, saying, "The dragon has sent its fire at me and it burnt me, but I attacked back." You have a story. And then you have the scars and the diamonds, the dragon's head, the horn, whatever it is. You get all of the accolades for your bravery, for your monumental achievement. But the one guy who doesn't walk the path, he isn't got a story. We were sitting at this table, us 4 rich men and this one brokey, talking about how we got rich within the last 10 years. All many different ways. We all took different paths, different dragons to slay. And we were talking about how we all managed to get rich. And you know what was hurting the broke guy? It wasn't that he didn't have any money. It's that he didn't have a fucking story. He knew that we were thinking what he was thinking. That he had spent the same amount of minutes conscious as us, the same 10 years, and we ask him what he's done with it, and all he can say is nothing. We can say, "I went to jail, I did this, I started that business, it didn't work, I made 3 million here, I made 5 million there, lost it all, got it all back, invested in this, my business partner robbed me here." Then we tell all these great stories, and we say to him, what have you been doing? Work. Do you understand? You know what's amazing? I'm saying this, and those of you out there who are ambitious, who want to become a somebody, this will resonate with you. But most of the fucking brokies and losers who are listening to this are just not going to get it. You cannot sit at a table with 4 other men who have a monumental story of achievement, how they pulled off the impossible to finally become financially free, to have slayed a dragon, and be the only person who has wasted their time and not have a story. It's not like we went and got rich and you haven't had time. No, we're all the same age. We've had the same amount of minutes, the same amount of time. And when I recollect what I've done with the past decade, you can't even tell me what you did. You can't say, "I didn't get rich, but I became a world level fucking golf." I guess you get rich if you're a world level at golf. What's something you can get world level at without being rich? Women's basketball. Sorry I didn't get rich. I was busy playing women's basketball. I became the best in the world. I'm still broke. That's fine. The worst thing is we say, "We spent all this time getting rich. What did you do with your time?" And they say, "I can't remember." Nothing. Ask yourself. New Year. When was New Year? It's been a flash. When was New Year's Eve? Remember New Year's Eve? What have you done since New Year's Eve? Ask yourself, what have you done? Went to work and went out this one night. Go on. It's been a third of a year. It's been 4 months. What have you done since New Year's Eve? I can tell you what I've done. Escaped house arrest, escaped the political persecution, went to Miami, told the AG he's a little bitch, went to Vegas, went to the UFC, went to LA, went to New York, went back to Miami, went back to Romania, spoke to the press, made millions of dollars. Now I'm in Dubai, about to open Tate Tower. I'm doing amazing things. What have you done since New Year's Eve? Because there's going to be a story. There's going to be 4 rich men and your broke ass sitting on a table at the end of this year, and I'm going to talk about how much fucking money I've made and all the monumentally important things I've done, and when I call that BBC reporter a nobody, and all the cool shit I do every single day. I'm going to talk about it, and the other rich men are going to have stories. We're all going to have dragon parts that we've lopped off the enemy, off the monster, and you're going to sit there and go, I don't remember. The worst thing about being poor is that everybody gets rich without you. It's amazing how your personality changes when you're not poor anymore. When I was broke, I had this constant stress and constant anxiety, worried about the fact that if my car broke down, I couldn't fix it. Or if somebody needed me or had to rely on me for something, I couldn't help them. People often ask me, Andrew, how do you deal with all these core problems and the matrix coming after you and the news coming after you and everyone insulting you? How do you deal with all that pressure? The answer to that is I find peace in the fact that I'm rich. It doesn't matter if I go to jail, because everyone I care about is going to be taken care of. I can go to jail for the rest of my life. My kids are going to eat. That's a man's job. That's all that matters. Most of the time, you're thinking about trying to make money. You're thinking about the bills you have upcoming. You're thinking about the problems you're going to be in if you don't pay them. People can read that on your face. That's the reason girls don't want to talk to you in the club, because they can see on your face you're concerned about something. And if you actually think and analyze it, what are you concerned about? Probably, on some level, it involves money. People say to me, oh yeah, but money's not everything. You're right. But if you want to truly be your best self, if you want to be unapologetic, if you want to say what you really think without being afraid of being canceled or fired, if you want to be charismatic, if you want to be interesting, if you want to do all these things and live your only human experience to the absolute maximum of your potential and capacity, you need to be rich to do those things. The positive organs, your aura will completely change once you become rich. The dream to making money is to actually finally be yourself. And if you're watching this and you're not a multimillionaire, I can promise you, you are already self-censoring. What a waste of a human life to allow numbers on a screen printed by the fucking Fed to completely suppress your entire human experience until the day you die. You need to break free from the chains, not just for your family, not just for your bloodline, not just for your pet, not just for your kids, not just for anybody else, not for the Jets, not for the Lambos, not for anything else. You need to break free from the chains for yourself so you can finally find out who you are. And to do this amazing thing, to achieve this amazing feat and finally be the man that you know you could be, you do not have to go dig in a coal mine. You do not have to go charge at bullets. You do not have to risk your life. All you have to do is get a computer, focus for a few hours, and type in the real world. And if you do that, you're going to see that you're a completely different person.